A dog bag out.
All right, we are going live in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, in 1. What is up, everybody? Welcome. Welcome to the Sunshine Show, where I interview the most amazing people on the planet and we talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about. I have the most amazing and wonderful guest tonight, Mr. Andy. Tell me your last name one more time.
Rehfeldt.
Rehfeldt in the house. How's it going, Andy?
It's going great.
Awesome. Very cool. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and my friends tonight.
Well, thank you for having me. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I've been watching your videos all day today. I'm a huge fan. My friend Luigi actually turned me on to your videos, and they are very fucking badass. And it seems like you probably put a lot of time and energy into your content, and I'm really excited to talk to you about it tonight. For people who may not know who you are, Andy, could you give us a little bit of a background about yourself?
Okay, for 10 years I've been like doing these YouTube videos, and so that's what I'm known for. And where I take like the vocals from a recording and I mash it up to a live performance of the actual artist, and then I will change the genre to make it funny. Like a metal band I'll make them bossa nova or something, or lounge, and then vice versa. I'll make like Julie Andrews. I'll make her sing death metal. So.
Yeah. That's fucking amazing. I shared your death metal version of how do you say it? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
That's right. That's it.
It's kind of hard with this fake ass tooth I got, but I did it. And dude, that was just hilarious to hear that voice come out of her like that. It's like, yes.
Yeah.
So fucking dope. Tell me, what was your very first video that you did?
Lamb of God, because I found they issued out a CD that actually had the stems, like their vocals.
Okay.
They had them all separated on a CD. And so I took that CD and I said, well, here's a live video on the internet. And now that I have the vocals all by themselves, all I have to do is like make a click track to the live recording and I can make whatever music I want. And so I did like this cheesy jazz, new age type sounding stuff to Lamb of God. So that was pretty funny.
Wow. And so when was that? When was your very first video that you made?
It's about 11 years ago.
Wow, 11 years. So what was that, back in like MySpace days?
Yeah, I think MySpace was still going on.
Very cool. How does it feel to have millions of views on your videos?
Well, that was pretty thrilling. I mean, after I started getting a lot of views, I was like, please, YouTube, don't ever stop, because I'm getting so much attention here. This is great, you know? So it was really awesome to get all these views.
Yeah. Was it sort of like just like an overnight sort of success?
No. Well, let me see. I did about 4 videos and they were kind of popular. And then I did the Metallica one where I made them sound, I called it Metallica Plays Smooth Jazz, or Smooth Jazz. And that one blew up.
Oh man, just the way that the people actually, like, you line it up perfectly with the videos where it looks like they're actually like playing the music. And so they're still like doing this like death metal headbanging shit and they're playing like, you know, like jazz. It's so cool.
Yeah, it takes it takes a lot of time to do that. You have to get the video and then you have to put it in I used to use Pro Tools, now I use Logic, but you have to put it in Logic and then you have to listen to your click. And like every two measures or 8 beats, they'll be speeding up or slowing down because they're playing live. and they're not playing through a click track. So I have to sit there and painstakingly make this tempo track, this tempo list of, like, the tempo just changes every measure or something.
Wow. So are you like just super OCD, ADD? How do you sit there and like actually get through a whole song?
I'm a little loony. I'm pretty crazy. So I
As
just
we all are, right?
so yeah, I just go through it and I just do it. And it takes a long time, like 2 hours mostly, to do one song. Just
Is that it? Just 2 hours?
just the tempo part.
Okay.
Then the other stuff, I'll spend my time. I'll spend a little time in the morning, and then I have to go do something else, and then I'll come back the next morning or in the evening and do a little here and there.
Very, very cool. Like, what inspired you? Like, you just saw that you could do it and you just kind of pieced it together in your head?
Yes, and now I'm a big fan of the Frank Zappa and funny music like that, and I just he did stuff in the past like that. Like, he did a reggae version of Stairway to Heaven, which is a really awesome version. And ever since I was in high school, I would do joke music where I would switch genres and have a lot of fun, just playing a punk rock version of something like Feelings by Barry Manilow or whatever. I don't know. I just do that all the time. And so now I got to do it on YouTube with, like, do it to videos, and it's a lot of fun.
Wow, super cool. I am going to take a look at the chat really quick and say what's up to everybody that's watching us. Lindsay, Marcio, Eric, Don, the whole fam bam, Eric, Megan. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. So Margie says she loves Zappa. You did talk about Zappa as being one of your influences. Who are some of your other influences?
All the great classic rock bands, like Sabbath is, like, still my favorite band ever since I bought one of their records when I was 11 years old. I still listen to old Sabbath, and Zeppelin, and then I listen to a lot of funk and a lot of soul and a lot of fusion and old jazz. Charlie Parker, I study a lot of Charlie Parker. I still practice Charlie Parker a lot, and John Coltrane, I practice a lot. Basically, but deep down inside, I'm a metalhead.
Yeah. But you do like jazz a lot. Did you play jazz? Did you grow up playing jazz or?
I grew up playing it in high school, and then through college I played the piano. I played jazz piano in college and classical piano.
Wow, that's
Later on, I switched to guitar when in my 20s. From being a keyboard player, I switched to guitar.
and what was that transition like for you?
Well, I sucked at guitar at first. I was kind of like Neil Young on speed, just playing blues licks, but with fast picking, and then I got really serious and I practiced, and I got a hold of a jazz teacher, and he showed me a lot. That guy.
Wow, yeah, there's a lot to be said about studying jazz music and theory. There's definitely a lot that goes into it.
Yes, I mean, and I've figured out that if I can understand this stuff, then I can pretty much understand any other type of music.
Yeah.
It made me understand classical music a lot more too by studying jazz.
So what did you do? Did you study jazz through college, or did you play with big bands or anything like that?
Yeah. In college, I studied jazz, but it was more of a classical program. But I studied on my own, and then after I got out of college and I got into guitar, I really studied it really hard and got a good teacher. And that's when I really learned on my own.
Wow, very cool. I had no idea. I went to school well, not for jazz, but I did study and play in the first jazz band throughout my college career until I was able to graduate.
Good practice.
Yeah, absolutely. So jazz holds a huge spot in my heart. What is up, Andy in Toronto? What is up? What is up?
Hi,
What is
Andy.
up? Andy and Andy, what? Cool. So where'd you grow up at, Andy?
Just east of Los Angeles, about 70 miles, in a little town called Redlands.
Oh, beautiful. So you're close enough to the madness, but far away.
Oh yeah.
I know that every time I have been to LA, it takes me at least 2 hours to get anywhere that I want to go.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. And I'm left-handed, and so I take my guitar and I put it on my lap and I do picking exercises while I drive because I'm just sitting there in the
What?
traffic.
Do you really? Okay, everybody, you have heard it here first. You can play, you can practice. There's never no excuse not to practice.
I can do picking. I can sit there and do my little picking patterns while I'm driving. Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if I endorse that or if it's safe, but I mean, if you say so, Andy.
Yeah. Don't tell my wife that I do that.
No, we won't. We will never tell her. Don't worry. Oh, that's so cool, man. Tell me a little bit. Do you write your own original music?
Yes. I've posted a lot of songs on YouTube also. They're not as popular, but yeah, I write a lot.
Awesome. Could you talk to us about your songwriting process?
Yeah. All the lyrics are funny or goofy or pretty much like Frank Zappa, and then a lot of it is instrumental music. And actually, um, until this whole cornhole virus thing happened, I was working at this music house for over 25 years, writing music for commercials
Really?
and cartoons. Yes.
Tell us all about it. That's exciting.
It was, I just learned a lot. I mean, when I first started doing it, I was like, oh God, can I really do this? I mean, especially trying to write orchestral music on the keyboard, that scared the shit out of me. But I just kept on doing it, and I was forced to do it, and I got better. And so we did some, we the company did some memorable commercials, and that got us more work. And so
Can you like tell us a few commercials or cartoons that you've worked on?
there's probably like there's old commercials from Nike, like with Tiger Woods bouncing a golf ball on his putt, and then there's big band music that I helped write, and then oh, there's a Volkswagen one where the dogs are barking the Darth Vader theme. Ruff, 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 ruff. That was a big popular one. That was like maybe 7 years ago. Geez, these are old commercials now. I did a bunch of uh, it's all kind of a
How about do you like can you name a cartoon or two?
well, I didn't get to do any big cartoons, but I did like this one that was really popular for kids. It's if you give a mouse a cookie.
Okay.
It was a popular one. That was on Amazon.
Oh, how fun.
Yes. And then we did some smaller ones that were from like Trick Cereal. There were like these little cartoons that would go on the internet.
Wow, how fun. So if there are people out there watching that are interested in maybe like writing jingles or commercials or cartoons, how would they get into that?
You just got to meet people. I mean, I just fell into it. I had a friend who was a guitar player who didn't play like metal stuff, and he goes, oh, and his other friend had this company and he had this studio, and he goes, oh, you gotta hire my friend Andy to play because he knows how to play all this metal stuff. And then I hit it off with that guy, and then he's a big businessman, so I kept on working with him just by chance. I'm not too much of a people person.
But the good thing is that you come with really good references. Yeah. So then you get And that's the beautiful thing about life in general, right? It's kind of like if you're a good person, good things sort of fall into your lap for the most part. Not to say that bad things don't happen to us too, which I'm sure they do.
Oh, yeah.
But like this opportunity, it was all about the people that you knew and the good relationships that you kept, and you were able to like get into this whole role of making all this amazing music that you wouldn't have, made otherwise.
That's right. That's right. I'm very blessed. Definitely.
Very cool. So how does that are you still like trying to make music for commercials and stuff like that, or are you kind of over it?
I still do it. I'm just like a freelance out of my studio right here.
Wow, that's so cool. Andy, I had no idea. That is super, super cool. So doing the parody videos, you must do a lot of engineering in your home studio or whichever studio you work out of. Can you tell us a little bit about the setup that you work on?
Yeah, it's Logic. I like Logic. I'm sure a lot of people have Apple Logic, and I I just what I do is I'm not too much of an engineer type, and I've been very lucky to work with a lot of really great engineers, and they've showed me a little bit of stuff. Luckily in Logic, there's a lot of presets. Yay!
Yeah, for the presets.
So I just use like the mastering presets on that, and I just use my ears. And what I like to do when I mix is I like to A/B, like one of my favorite recordings with mine. Like if I'm doing like a metal hard rock type of thing, I usually take out listen to something off of AC/DC Back in Black, because that album sounds really good.
Yeah.
I like the way Heaven and Hell by Black Sabbath. I like to use that album too. I think that album sounds really good. And so that's a good way to mix, is to like A/B it. Like A, listen to that A, and then listen to your mix B and say, okay, well, compared to that, I can make my bass stick out a little more, or bring it down.
It can be a like very time consuming and tedious process, right? Because your ear, like the whole sound thing is like a personal kind of reflection, right? Of yourself. Like you'll never make it sound exactly like the other song, but you can sure as hell try your damnedest.
You can listen to little things in it and say, okay, well, I can boost this little frequency here and make it sound more like that.
Yeah. So let me read a few of these comments. What's up, Mom? Thanks for hanging out.
Hi, Mom.
She is in Kingsville, Texas. So Jesus is with us, and Jesus says, so what you're saying, Andy, is practice everything and be prepared for anything?
Yes. Try to practice and try to, yeah, just like a Boy Scout, be prepared.
Be prepared. You can never be prepared enough, especially in this industry.
Don't drink a big bottle of tequila before you go to a session. That you probably won't do too well.
Or whiskey, no Jameson. Maybe you can have 2 Lone Stars, but that's it.
Yeah, maybe just 2 Lone Stars. Yeah.
Or some Starbucks. Actually, this is my cup from yesterday. I reused it so that I could pretend like I was drinking Starbucks. It's really my own coffee.
No problem.
Fancy. Cool. So let's talk about your pet peeves in the music industry.
The pet peeves. Well, I can tell you about my experience as being this composer for commercials and stuff.
Please.
So I work the people that would come in that work for these ad companies. Sometimes there'd be like 7 of them. 7 people would come in, and so while I'm sitting there doing this little 30-second tune with my colleagues, all 7 of them have to say something like, I that guitar part kind of sounds green, and I want it to sound yellow, crap like that. And then the next person has to say something because they have to be validated. I mean, they all have to say something. So I had to deal with a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, that is pretty annoying when people want it their way, and then you have all their fans or all the people their groupies mimicking them. That is very annoying. I know one of my biggest pet peeves is when people are not humble enough and think too highly of themselves. That definitely gets on my nerves. I think it's very important to remain very humble. And that's what I love so much about you, Andy, is that you are an internet sensation and you are very humble.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Sometimes I just think I suck. So,
No, you definitely don't. People that have 9 million, 11 million views on their YouTube videos definitely do not suck. I think a lot of people really like what you're doing. Can you so wait, do you make any money from these videos? Are they monetized? How does that work?
I just got monetized. My friend Tony helped me finally get monetized.
Congratulations to Andy!
That means that a lot of my very well-known videos, I didn't get to monetize those because I got copyright issues with those, but I got to monetize. So I did all the videos I can monetize. So
good, that's perfect.
But I've had a lot of supporters because I have a Patreon channel, and I have a little buy me a beer thing, or donate $1, and so many people have been just really great, and it's really awesome. And any of you people out there watching, thank you so much. Love you guys.
Everybody is saying, yay, congratulations. Nothing but mad love for you, Andy. We have Andy Williams here, your little Twinkie in Canada. Thank you, Andy, for hanging out. Where I lost my train of thought. Oh, what's your favorite video that you've done so far?
The last one I did. I mean, it'll change my favorite, but the last one I did, I thought was pretty good. I did Exodus, that old thrash metal band, and their famous tune "Bonded by Blood." I sang it, and I made it sound like really happy, kind of country bear jamboree type, really funny type stuff. And so when I sing, I sound like this really cheesy children's show white boy. So it's perfect for that.
I was looking at what is it called? The Disney Classics album. Is that something that you released?
Yeah, I called it the Radio Disney, which I probably shouldn't, but I call it that.
So tell me more about that. I was seeing in the comments that people were really excited that their kids can now listen to some of their favorite music.
Well, that's a lot of fun. Let me see. The first one I did, it was Cannibal Corpse, I believe. That was the first one I did probably 9 or 10 years ago. And I looked at them. I looked at the video and I go, okay, this song's called Hammer Smash Face, and it's a death metal band, and the singer sounds like, and so I got the lyrics, made my tempo map to the music, and I listened to each riff. Like one riff is like, but I make it all, with the real clean Stratocaster tone, all pretty, and I make it into major chords. And then I sing the same rhythm of the vocals too, but I sing melodically. Like he's going, something inside me, it's coming out, I'm gonna kill you. And I go, something inside me, it's coming out, I feel like killing you. And that's what I do.
Oh my God, dude, I love you so much.
Thank you.
Oh my God, a man after my own heart. This is hilarious. Wow. Megan, thank you so much for dropping Andy's YouTube link. Anybody or everybody that is streaming or tuning in tonight, please go and subscribe to Andy's YouTube. He is now monetized, everybody. Woo, woo, herky very cool, Andy. So let's see. So you grew up in LA or East LA or Redlands, and you've been there the most of your life.
Yeah. Little town, kind of far from LA, but east of LA, yeah.
So you think you'll stay there the majority? Are you staying there?
No, I live in the LA vicinity now.
Oh, okay, very cool. And how is everything now that from this past year? How has everything been going for you? How's it affected your music?
Well, it's been rough, like it's been for a lot of people, but I'm hanging in there and just keep plowing away, and hopefully things will get better.
So looking back on the past year, is there any advice that you would give yourself at the beginning of the year, now knowing what you know?
I can't think of anything right now.
That's okay. That's totally cool. What are you working on next? What's your new project? Anything in the works?
I saw in the news, someone showed me on Facebook that China is going to start giving people anal swabs for the coronavirus. So I want to write a quick punk song about that. So hopefully I'll do that tomorrow.
I cannot wait for that one. I'm sure that will be very epic, as all of your songs are super epic. I was watching, let's see, Teen Spirit. You did that in like reggae style, right?
I love reggae.
I play a lot of reggae. I'm actually in a reggae group right now. But I've played reggae most of my life. So I love that you incorporate that into your music, and you do jazz and thrash metal and just all kinds of cool stuff. What was the other one? Adele. I think you did like jazz and metal with her.
Yeah, I guess that's like OCD, huh? When you go from jazz to metal and then back, pretty much.
I am curious when you will do a Billie Eilish song, Andy.
I did one.
Did you?
They wouldn't let me post her video on YouTube, so I have it on my Patreon channel. I'll send that to you.
Yeah. Oh, so let's talk more about your Patreon. What do you do on there?
I post the videos that are banned from YouTube on there, and sometimes I'll do just behind the scenes where I'll talk about what I'm doing, or I'll bring up an old video and I'll say, okay, this is how I got this sound, and just technical stuff, and then everyone on Patreon, I post all my MP3s there so they can download them for free.
Oh, super cool.
And I'm only charging $1 a month.
Whoa, that is a steal, everybody. Go sign up for Andy's Patreon right this minute. If you don't, you are doing yourself an injustice.
Yes, it's a lot of fun. Just put a lot of funny stuff there. I'm gonna start building more stuff on it soon.
Very nice. I know that a lot of musicians have been turning to Patreon to get extra support, and it seems to be working out really well for people that know how to use it. And I think you charging only $1 is a great idea to get more people.
Yes, I'm all into trying to get like the masses. Come to my Patreon channel and just pay a little dollar,
Yeah, that's so cool. Andy, tell me, what's your favorite instrument? Is guitar your favorite instrument?
Yes, guitar is my favorite instrument. I like playing bass a lot.
Bass kids.
I love bass. I play with a pick though, so I'm not a real bass player, right?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. We don't judge here, Andy.
Good. Yes. So guitar and bass, and I'm a drummer too.
Nice.
I taught myself how to play drums when I was a kid. So
tell us about your guitar. What do you play on?
My what?
Tell us about your guitar. What kind of guitar do you play on?
I just got an endorsement.
Tell us all about it.
Check that out.
Ooh, nice. Whoa, that is killer.
It's beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Beautiful. It's a semi-hollow body, 2 humbuckers, Tajima, handmade in Brazil, Tajima Jet Blues guitar.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. I love it. Love this.
Your twin Andy over here saying, ooh, that, ooh. What's your practice schedule look like? Do you practice much?
As much as I can. I mean,
In the car, I forgot. You practice all the time. You're practicing in the car, driving. I mean, come on.
And I'll just do these tedious picking exercises, and then I'll play to some Charlie Parker practice CDs, and that's a lot of what I do for practice.
Nice. I don't know if we talked about, how did you get into music?
When I was 6 years old, my parents started teaching me because they are both classical musicians. My mom's a piano teacher and a church organist, and my dad was a woodwind professor of woodwinds.
Oh, wow.
So he taught me. My mom started teaching me piano. My dad taught me flute and bassoon. And later on, because I learned flute, I took up the saxophone, started playing with some older kids. We used to play like Ohio Players and Chicago tunes and
Wow.
like that in high school. And then I'd also play in my heavy metal band. Like I had a band called Children of the Grave.
Oh, woo.
And then a band called Wizard back then in high school. And so my parents started me out, and then I discovered the Beatles like when I was 7. Like I think there was a 45 at school on one of the record players, and I'd listen to it and I went, holy shit, this is what I want to play. And so through other friends and stuff, I started buying a lot of Beatle records, a ton of Beatle records. I'd get my lawn mowing money when I was 7 years old and ride down to Woolworths and buy a Beatle record. Buy the Rubber Soul. I still have my Rubber Soul record I signed it. I put my name on the front of it because it was mine.
Oh my goodness. I love that story. So what I didn't tell you is that my Rickenbackers, which I introduced you to them before we went live, my 1976 Rickenbacker, her name is Penny Lane Rickenbacker, and my 1975 is Eleanor Rigby Rickenbacker. Because I too, Andy, am a huge Beatles fan.
That's awesome.
So basically, music. You were born into music. You were surrounded by music. You didn't tell me you were a musical prodigy and that you played the flute and the saxophone and the freaking bassoon, Andy. That's amazing.
I don't know how to play the bassoon anymore. It sucks. I played semi-professionally too.
You can pick it up again. I believe in you. You just got to find a bassoon. Who is Gary Brandt? Is that your friend?
Who?
Gary Brandt?
Gary? I'm not.
Gary. Who's Grandpa Jones in the Gospel Quartet? Is that somebody we should know about?
I don't know.
Gary, we don't know. Gary, what are you talking about? What's up, Clint, Don, everybody? Thanks for hanging out with me and Andy. It's been an amazing time. We are having such a good time talking to Andy. He makes parody videos and is a YouTube sensation with over 9 million views on most of his videos. He is a musical prodigy and genius, which we just found out. He practices while he drives. Shh, don't tell his wife. Oh my gosh. Let's see, what else have we not covered? Hey, So we talked about your influences, we talked about your background, your songwriting process, and your equipment. Do
Yes.
you work, what studios do you work at outside of your home?
I worked at Endless Noise. That's the main one where I worked at. Through Endless Noise, I got to record at Capitol. I got to record at Capitol and the Village Recorder. Those are two famous ones. Like you go and you see Led Zeppelin records on the wall at the Village Recorder and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And you see there was one Sunset Sound. I got to record in all those really famous places, which was really cool. And these days, I've just been recording here. I'm gonna go down to on Wednesday. I'm gonna record act to a little 16 track reel to reel studio.
Oh,
There's actually
wow.
one that exists.
Who knew?
Yes, and so that's a trip. That's a trip. You ever recorded to a reel to reel? It's a whole different deal.
I saw the Sound City documentary where they kind of like explain the process, and I did go to the Women's Audio Mission in San Francisco, and we did learn about it, but we never actually got to like see the process like in the real life and it happen. But it seems very meticulous and tedious too.
Yes, and it sounds different. The music, the mixes sound different. They seem to meld together more. I mean, there's this little bit of audio kind of distort, like overdrive that you kind of hear in tape when it's recorded to tape. It sounds like the old records, you know. It's great.
Yeah, there's just something so warm about
Yes,
that sound.
yes, definitely.
Do you have a favorite album?
Um, I like Magical Mystery Tour, and let me see. I like what's my favorite albums? You know, there's this ZZ Top album called Tejas that wasn't very popular.
Uh-huh.
I love that album. I listen to it all the time.
I'll have to check it out. I don't think I have any ZZ Top albums, and I have a shitload of records, and I don't have one ZZ Top record.
Well, that's a great one. It's called Tejas, and all these sweet guitar tones are on it, and the songs are pretty damn good.
I love, you know what I'd love to listen to are soundtracks. Because you get like so many different types of music on one record. A good soundtrack, obviously. Like Forrest Gump is really good, American Hustle, those kind of movies that are like sort of
Like greatest hits albums, kind of.
yeah, exactly. They got all the good mojo happening.
Yes.
My mom wants me to mention, Mom, I love you. She says, y'all's parents turned y'all into beautiful Beatles. What? Beautiful Beatles, Mom, take it back. We're not Beatles, we're Beatles fans. I love her. Megan says she loves the Clueless soundtrack. Oh, what was that movie that had, it was based around a record store, and it had Alicia Silverstone, and they had that song Sugar High. Anybody, if you know it, drop it in the comments. No, Don, no ZZ Top. He goes, no ZZ Top, and your ass is from Texas. I am from Texas, but listen, I love my Willie Nelson, my Rocky Erickson, my Daniel Johnston. I got my Texas legends on lock. Empire Records. I love the Empire Records soundtrack. That's
nice. I did a Willie Nelson tune not too long ago.
Did you really? Which one?
I did On the Road Again on my fart piano. Yeah, Willie.
That was fucking amazing, Andy. Thank you so much. That really, I was not expecting that. And Willie Nelson is legit my favorite artist of all time forever. My great grandma she used to put him on Austin City Limits, and she would dance around the living room with the harmonica, and that's how I picked up harmonica, through my great grandma.
Nice.
I've always had an affinity for Willie Nelson, so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
We got Luigi in the house. What's up, Luigi?
Oh,
Let's see, what does Jesus say? I went to see Motown Studios, and the hair on my arm stood up. Just the thought of the talent and hits that came out of Hitsville, it was very exciting for me as a musician and a James Jamerson fan. There is something to be said about working in studios that some of your favorite musicians recorded in.
yes. Yes. That must have been awesome going up there and seeing that.
Super cool. I got to record when I was about 21, I guess. I was in this reggae ska band called Monkeys Doing It. And we would save up our money. And for 2 summers in a row, we recorded at Perdinelli's studio in Spicewood, Texas. And it was actually the same studio that Sublime recorded their self-titled album in. Well, they recorded, I think, in 3 different studios, but this was one of them. And I just remember, like, dude, not only was it Willie Nelson's, oh, I left that part out. It was Willie Nelson's studio, okay, Perdinelli's. So not only was I at, like, my most favorite musician studio, but, like, one of my favorite musicians of all time had recorded there. So it was like, damn.
That's awesome.
It was really exciting. What's up, Fam Bam Vicky? She says she loves your fart piano, Andy.
Awesome. I love it, too. If this thing breaks, I'm going to be so bummed.
Where do we get our very own fart piano?
So my wife walked into Walmart one time and she came out with this and she said, I thought you should have this. And God bless her.
God bless her. And now she regrets it, right? She's like, fuck, why did I buy him that fucking fart piano? You're like chasing her around the house. Listen to this, honey. I love it. Yeah. I fucking love it. Does anybody have any questions for Andy, the man of the hour? If you do, drop them in the comments. We will address them. Boom, 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 boom. My wife needs to buy me a fart piano. Okay, Ouija. What is the first song you will play on your fart piano?
Who, me?
No, I was talking to Ouija, but what other songs you got in works on that little fart piano there? It makes it so special when you play it on that.
How about some gotta play Iron Man. Yes.
You spend a lot of time on that piano there.
Oh yeah.
That is fucking badass. Thank you so much for that.
I got a lot of videos. I got a lot of videos with this thing.
Do you really?
Yeah, I think maybe almost 10.
That was a good 12 to 20 bucks, however much your wife spent on that piano. It was a good purchase.
Yes.
Let's see. We just asking what inspired your renditions. We talked about this earlier, but since we just so late to the party, I guess we'll deep dive back into this topic.
That's all right. Well, it helps because I love all the different types of music, everything, you know, from bossa nova to death metal or whatever. And I've had the experience of playing all these different types of styles, especially because of writing music for commercials. I mean, I'd have to do everything from I'd even have to try to write Asian ethnic type of music and stuff, and all kinds of different types of jazz or different type of classical. And so I love doing all that stuff. And so when I see some video, like, and I just think of what would be the funnest thing to do to that song by that band. And so I come up with ideas. Some of them are better than others. And I did Motorhead. I did the famous song Ace of Spades.
Wow.
And I found Lemmy's vocals all alone. And I said, well, I'm going to make this sound orchestral. So I started, doing MIDI orchestral instruments.
That's
so instead
amazing.
of going dun, 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 I'm going on the trumpets.
That is great. I saw a video earlier today. I can't remember which one it was, but you made it sound happier. Like you changed the chords or something. What song was that?
I do that all the time.
Oh, you do it all the time?
Yes. I'll make it sound happy or sadder. Like I made Imagine by John Lennon. So, here's a theory thing. I'll take a song like Imagine by John Lennon. I think it's in G major. And he's singing in G major, and he's singing na 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 na, imagine all the na 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 na. That's the fifth of G major. But if I start playing chords in the relative minor of that, which is E minor, the melody can still work with that. I can make up a progression in the minor mode with the melody, still singing the normal melody. I don't have to change the melody.
Yeah.
That's what I do a lot.
I think it's crazy how by just changing a few notes that it can totally change the whole feeling of an arrangement.
Yes.
That is kind of mind-blowing to me. But I see it happen all the time, especially with some songs that like you think that they should be sad, right? They have sad lyrics, but they're played over happy chords. So you have like these mixed emotions of how you're supposed to feel when you listen to it. Like,
That's great.
Let me see the chat here. Andy wants to know, what was the longest project that you worked on?
One of them was I did a radio Disney version of Meshuggah. The song was called Bleed. And it was just so hard to do because the guitar part would go, do this triplet thing like this. Just that over and over, and you're doing this picking thing over and over, and then you're switching like that. And it took me forever to learn that. I had to practice slow for 2 weeks and then finally get it faster. And then I still couldn't do it great. So I had to punch in a lot, just to try to get it. So wow. That took a long time.
So what do you think, like maybe 3 weeks or?
Yeah.
At least, the very least.
Definitely.
That is dedication, Andy. That is dedication. Let's see. Weege says Pantera is his favorite band, and the radio Disney style is his favorite thing to share with all the people.
Nice. That one got banned on YouTube, so you have to look for that one.
Wait, how do your videos get banned off of YouTube?
Copyright, whatever. Like maybe somebody in that camp of whatever band, maybe they don't like what they see, and they tell YouTube to shut it off, I guess.
Interesting. I was reading an article that or an interview that you did previous, like I don't know when, but I was reading it, and I read somewhere where you said you finish everything that you start. Like you don't ever like start a song and not finish it.
Yeah. Even if it's not all that great, I'll say, okay, well, I still have to finish this, I'm not, like, don't painters do that?
Well, it reminds me, for sure, right? For sure, painters, if they're painting a house, especially.
Oh, yes.
My mom does that with books. Like, she will never not finish a book. It doesn't matter how shitty it is. Like, if she starts the first page, the woman reads the whole thing. I'm like, what the fuck? I've never seen her not finish a book. It's amazing. And I give her props because I don't think that I could do that.
Great.
So we're going to start wrapping things up here in a little bit. If you guys have any more questions, drop them in the comments. I've had such a good time with you, Andy. I have a few more questions. And then we're going to let you go. So one question I love to ask all my guests is if you could invite any 5 people, preferably musicians, dead or alive, to a dinner party, what 5 musicians would that be, and what would you serve them?
I want Bach at my dinner table, and I want Jimi Hendrix, and I want Dio. Dio needs to be there. Dio needs to be there, and who else? Those 3 for sure. And let's bring Paul McCartney. He can show up. And
Paul's welcome.
And Frank Zappa.
Oh.
And I'd get In-N-Out burger. We'd all just have In-N-Out.
In-N-Out burger. You heard it here first. I love that. That is a great selection of musicians. Would you make music with them?
I'd be too scared.
Oh no, Andy, believe in yourself. We all believe in you.
I'll bring out my fart piano and go, hey guys, what do you think?
Well, for sure, you got to bring out the fart piano. It's so funny that you say Dio, because I just posted a picture with my son a couple of weeks ago, and my brother said that my son looks just like Dio, and I was dying laughing because I pulled up the picture and I was like, oh shit, he does. Like long hair and like just the whole thing. So it's fucking funny. Yeah, I love Zappa. I'm actually a huge fan of Frank Zappa, and just the way that he just thought completely outside of the box, and did not like to be fit into any sort of like box. And he really just kind of like paved a way for musicians to like feel comfortable in creating like their own style of music, right?
Yes. Yeah, he was pioneer.
Do you keep up with Dweezil or any of his kids?
Not lately. I mean, he put together that awesome band where he was just playing his dad's music.
Yeah.
Zappa Plays Zappa.
Yeah.
Bought one of those CDs. That's an awesome CD. Just phenomenal.
What's your favorite show you've ever been to, like live show?
Live show? You know, when I was a kid, I used to see the Dixie Dregs a lot. You ever heard of the Dregs?
No, but you make just the way you say it makes me want to look them up right now when we get done with this conversation.
Yeah, they didn't have any vocalists. They're just 5 guys: keyboards, drums, bass, guitar. Keyboard? The drums. You know, drums, bass, guitar, keyboards, and violin. That's it. I was forgetting about a violin player. So they kind of sounded like Mahu Beach New Orchestra, kind of, but they were from the South, so they do a lot of country sounding stuff, like really fast bluegrass, like insanely. That just a little of that, but mostly it's like progressive fusion stuff. Kind of sounded like Kansas when they were like super progressive too. But they were pretty phenomenal.
Oh, fun. I've always wanted to learn to play spoons. Did they have a spoon player?
No. But I tell you, the first concert I went to was Kiss.
Oh, very cool. Oh, I saw your rendition of Kiss that you did. That was fucking funny. Like
Thanks.
seeing the people on stage and like the way they're like dancing and then the fucking music in the background's on. Oh my God, it's fucking genius. Oh my God, I love it.
Thank you.
My mom.
I have a reggae version of a Kiss song that I have to. Detroit Rock City. Yeah, I'll send that to you.
Yeah, please do. I am.
What else was I going to send to you? I was going to send you one other thing and I forgot. at the
Oh, the
beginning.
one that's banned off YouTube.
Which one?
The one that was banned on YouTube.
Well, I'm going to watch this video again, so I'll remember.
Yeah. I'll go back and watch it too. Let's see. My mom says, I love all music. When Sunshine and her band director brother pissed me off in the car, all they heard was opera and classical music. This is true. My mom would turn up the opera. And Megan says that her dad did the same thing to her as well. So apparently they were using music to torture us.
Nice.
Nice. Andy, oh my God. Don says the Dixie Dregs were awesome. We just gonna look them up. Goody, we got Goody in the house. And then we just know about the Pantera Domination. He is all about it.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I sing that one, so it's really cheesy.
Nice and cheesy.
In a good way.
So, the real question here is, do you like Disneyland?
No.
Of course you don't, Andy. Of course you don't. Oh my gosh, this has been such a good time. I think we're gonna get this wrapped up. We've talked about so many things, you guys. If you joined late, please go back and watch this entire interview. We've had such a good fucking time. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Margie said that Zappa will love the fart piano.
Yes, you will. Yes.
So yeah, we talked about Andy. He's an internet sensation. Look up his videos on YouTube. They're parody videos. Anything you can think of, he's probably done it. If not, drop it in the comments. Maybe he'll check out your suggestion.
I've done a lot of requests. I go, that's a great idea, and I do it.
Very cool. I will be sending you some of my requests because I definitely have some. Actually, when I was listening to your videos, for some reason, an Aha song came up, and I thought it was you doing a parody video of it because I think it was like Take on Me, but they were doing it like super like slow, and I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be funny. And then I turned around, it was the actual dudes like singing like that. I was like, oh okay. So Marhill, Dawn, Megan, Margie, Weege, the whole fam bam. Thank you guys all for hanging out. Andy, everybody is just sending their love, and they're just honored that you were on the show tonight. And yeah, just thank you for everything that you do and for inspiring all the people that you inspire and for fucking fighting that hard fight for all of us, Andy.
That's right.
Thank you so much. Before we go, do you have any advice that you could give struggling musicians that are having a hard time during this past year, this pandemic lifestyle?
I would say, keep practicing, keep thinking positive, and write some songs and record them.
Woo! Best advice yet. I love it. You guys go sign up for Andy's Patreon. Go subscribe to his YouTube. Follow. Andy, thank you. I love you, brother. Let's do this again soon.
Okay. All right.
All right, man. Thank you. We will see you next time.
Peace out.
Bye.